Hey, it's your professional sarcastic man and seeker of attention, Oz Chris, here with more reviews on Gridman and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, episode 10 respectively. So starting off with Gridman, surprisingly this was actually a really good episode. I really didn't have any problems with it. So the premise of this episode, Akane is just seemingly given up. So she's not her kind of a enthusiastic self when she's making kaiju. She just makes one, and Alexis kind of questions, really? That's all you're gonna make? Okay, I'll bring it to life, but I know you can do better. So she's in kind of a slump after the whole dream thing in the previous episode, trying to give like everyone their kind of a perfect society, perfect life, and they're rejecting it because it's not really their life. She's in a bit of a slump, but that's that kind of like her part of the story. It really is kind of a anti kind of story. He really develops in this episode. He's no longer considered a kaiju. He's considered a living being, and he evolves. Literally, he evolves in the episode, and there is a great twist at the end of the episode. It's a really good twist at the end, but all in all, I'm really surprised at this episode. The pacing was good. It didn't feel slow at parts. I was hooked from start to finish, and this is what I want from more of Gridman. This is what it should be like almost every episode, hooked from start to finish, and it took them roughly about 10 episodes to probably achieve this, and it definitely was going to be a good episode, as the animation in this is the best within this series. It is top quality in the animation, definitely within the fight scenes with full-powered Gridman versus the kaiju, and then Anti joining the fight and fighting against the kaiju as well. So bravo to Trigger and the team. They actually did a good episode. And onto JoJo, episode 10. This is the second part of the Lil'Narancia focus episode, and it's actually going to be a three-parter as it doesn't resolve the fight. And so Lil'Narancia discovers that he is shrinking. He discovers the powers of Formaggio's little feet stand, which can shrink people or objects. So Lil'Narancia is trying to get help while dealing with the fact that over time he's getting smaller and smaller, and he has to face various obstacles because of his size. But despite this, he gets a one-up on Formaggio, who doesn't understand what Lil Bomber, Lil'Narancia's stand, can actually do. It has more abilities. So it was a good episode, but there's a moment roughly near the middle where it goes into a kind of a flashback, introduction and backstory onto the main Hitman team within Passion, which Formaggio is a part of, and it really felt out of place. It just takes you out of the story and puts you into another story before that ends and goes back to the original story. So it was out of place. Honestly, you could have just taken that out, and honestly, this whole Lil'Narancia thing could have been another two-parter instead of three parts if you just took that out. That part with the Hitman is just to show not to mess with the boss. Don't go looking into what his identity is, or you will really suffer the consequences. And although, to be fair, this is shown directly later on when the boss is, although obscured, is introduced and attacks the team because they're trying to find out his identity, or someone else is trying to find out his identity. So he, while obscured, is introduces his stand and tries to kill them. That is a good moment to show don't go digging into things that aren't your business. So it wasn't really necessary for this episode. It really did pull, at least for me, it pulled me out of the episode, pulled me out of the main story with Lil'Narancia and Formaggio for no reason at all. So with that, it was an okay-ish episode. I liked the stand fights, the action with it was great as always. But they really needed to take out that Hitman flashback. It wasn't necessary. So that's all. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all next time.